Hello, dear audience. My name is Cristian Rodriguez, and today we're going to be talking about fencing. Mainly, where does the word fencing comes from? The word fencing itself comes from the German, more specifically and precise, from the word skremen. This word means the art of touch without being touched. Now, this is a modern definition of fencing because that's the main point about fencing right now, to be touched without being touched. In order for your touch to be valid, it is important for you to touch your opponent without you being touched. In history, we're going to realize that as soon as we move, we're going to see the evolution of itself, and now it is used in the context, in the historical context. One of these zones, the first zone that was considered one of the most important zones in the fencing history, is the ancient Egypt. To be more precise, is the Magi state. The Magi state was its main purpose was to create very powerful warriors and soldiers in order to obey and do the pharaoh's wishes. If we move forward into the Roman history, the Roman Empire history, we're going to realize that here is starting to appear not as a show, but more as a entertainment and have spectators in the grades. Why? Because in the Roman Colosseum, gentlemen had to practice and had to beat other soldiers and warriors, and of course they had to beat the animals. This is a point of inflection in the fencing history. It means that without this specific event, without the building and construction of the Roman Colosseum, probably the modern fencing wouldn't be existing today. It wouldn't even be existing as a sport. Now we move forward to the French part of the history, more precise to the 1700s and on. That's a very important part in the fencing history because it develops the building blocks of what modern history is. Because we can start realizing and prove doing logic and facts about where the fencing comes from, where does the modern definition of fencing comes from. Because in special books, to be more precise, this one it is in the page of the FMI, the International Fencing, the International Association of Fencing. We can actually find these books, and I'm saying this because in several books of the French era, we can see how gentlemen are already in the modern en-garde pose. A little bit different, just a little bit different, but the en-garde is almost the same. Always with a distance of 4 fingers between the chest and the arm, hand, and of course with your foot always in and out. With the left foot always aiming to the east and with the front feet always aiming to the north. Moving forward into modern history of fencing, now we have that all fencing has been divided in routes. The first route and the first weapon is a foil, then we have épée, and then we have saber. But before explaining this, I want to explain how is it blade fencing, how is it fence fencing. Well, its main rules is that gentlemen are going to be on a strip, a metal strip that it's long. It's about 14 meters long, and it is divided in several stages, several areas. The last area is considered like the danger zone, and then if they move forward, we have the first danger zone, and then we have the on-guard position, and then of course the metal zone. Fencing is a sport that its main requirement is for you to invade the other side of the opponent. Why? Because if you want to touch your opponent, it is important for you to be a menace. You have to be pinpointed. You have to be a threat for him. And now explaining how these weapons work, I want to move forward first into the foil one. Foil has a vest. All this is a conductive electric vest. 20 years ago, we have this issue in which fencers were constantly were touching this part of the vest. As you can see, this is a zipper. A zipper had nothing on top 20 years ago. Now modern fencing has modified that trick, this vest, and have put like a little strip of more conductive item. So we don't have this looking around, so they won't be touching it constantly. And now it is fixed. But this is the ballet zone. This as well is the ballet zone. The whole chest and the whole back and part of the hip, it's fully valid. And of course, there is another very important part of foil, which is a mask. In the mask, we have this side, which is considered the gola. The gola is part of the neck, which would be this side, this specific side. And of course, every single fencing gear is gonna have a resistance. The measurement and type of force that we use in fencing in order to categorize, ladies and gentlemen, is the newtons. The newtons is the measurement that we use to measure force. So in these cases, according to the FMI, if you are between 5 and 12, your protection must always be 350 newtons in every single item that you wear. The mask, the jacket, and the pants, and the under protector that goes behind the jacket. And of course, the cord. Being this said, and moving forward into the second route of fencing is the épée. Sadly, for this case, I don't have the gear. I apologize for that. But in épée, the whole body, it is valid. The hand, the head, the chest, the foot, the leg, every single part of the body is going to be valid. And then we move forward into saber. Saber is the third route of fencing. In saber, hip up is valid. Arms, hand, head, every single thing is valid. The way all of them are fenced are very different. Foil tends to be more aggressive. Épée is more about playing it slow, see what is your opponent is reacting to, and saber is more aggressive. All of the on-guard position of all these three routes are different. The main one for foil, it's this one. The one for épée is a little bit more standing than flexionating the knees, which would be like this. And then saber is the most aggressive one, because since it's the fastest weapon, you must always have to be willing to respond quickly, which it would be like this. More settle down with the arm a little bit up, then when foil is like this, saber would be like this. Because you must be able to react. If the blade is already here and you have your hand here, you won't be able to respond. And this is what fencing is right now. This would be the modern definition of fencing throughout history. Would be to touch without being touched. And in the past, it would be, of course, to mainly defend yourself. Thank you all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a great day.